हेलो युवान।
कौन बोला? खुद जा अपनी राख से दूर जा अपना लाश में आवाज़ पकाने की कौन बोला? आएगा अपना टाइम आएगा मेरे जैसा छोटा लाला तुझे ना मिल पाएगा। ये शब्दों का ज्वाला मेरी बेड़ियां पिघलाएगा। जितना तूने बोला है उतना ही तो खाएगा। अपना टाइम आएगा तू रंगा ही तो जाएगा।
Over to you, Madhureeta.
हेलो एंड वेलकम रणवीर।
हेलो मैडम, आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपको? मैडम की
हेलो एवरीवन।
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है मैम।
Am I audible?
गुड मॉर्निंग।
Hello everyone.
हेलो एवरीवन।
It's great to have you here, Ranveer.
मधुरीता जी, मैं तो आया हूँ इस स्टेज पर 5 मिनट पहले, तो आपका वेलकम, मधुरीता जी का वेलकम कीजिए तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से।
Thank you so
ये
much.
एवी किसने बनाया? किसने बनाया? मैं मिलूंगा आपको बाद में। इतना ही थोड़ा और डाल देते, थोड़ी और तारीफ कर लेते तो अच्छा लगता। हेलो मैडम।
Hello again, Ranveer.
कैसी हैं आप?
बहुत अच्छे हैं, आप कैसे हो?
मैं तो टिप टॉप हूं यार। we're back together. No masks. Hi, hello. Allowed. Handshakes, hugs, kisses, all allowed.
Absolutely.
We're back.
Yes.
A round of applause for us all. We're back, guys. It's so wonderful that we can actually be together in person. What a difficult time it's been the past 2-3 years. है ना मैम?
Absolutely.
Seen some great degrees of pain and suffering.
Yes.
But we are out of that dark and gloomy time and full of positivity and
Absolutely.
energy.
This is exactly what we're going to
तो
start
all
with.
energize
Ranveer.
करें
Yeah.
इस रूम को। करें क्या?
Yes.
तो कुछ ही देर पहले हम यहाँ बैठे थे और किसी ने एक पॉइंट रेज किया एंड इट रियली हिट होम। आई वाज लाइक, हाँ यार, सोचो इसके बारे में। Somebody said, look at where we started, look at the journey of the Indian entertainment sphere, where it started and where it is today. What a journey, a spectacular journey. कहाँ से शुरू किया था हमने मैम? दूरदर्शन से। आज देखो कितने प्लेटफॉर्म, कितने चैनल्स, there's just so much happening. पर एक टाइम पे सिर्फ दूरदर्शन हुआ करता था। I'm born in 85, so I've seen those times. ए कौन है? कोई कौन है? ओहो, ये मधुर आवाज कहां से आ रही है? अरे गुड मॉर्निंग सर, अपनी मधुर आवाज सबको सुनाइए। आइए, आपका नाम?
समीर।
समीर, पवन का झोंका,
ठंडी हवा का झोंका।
आहा। सर, संजय लीला भंसाली साहब की फिल्म में आपका रेफरेंस था, हम दिल दे चुके सनम, याद है आपको?
वो
समीर,
वो तो बहुत दिल वाली बात है।
पवन का झोंका। सर, कितना अच्छा गाते हैं आप।
मैं गाता नहीं हूँ, गुनगुनाता हूँ।
अरे गुनगुनाइए सर, एनर्जाइज कीजिए हम सबको। क्या ट्यून गा रहे थे आप?
1 2 3 ऑल ऑफ अस।
क्या बात है सर। जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा वाला सीन याद है आपको? कितना हंसाया ऋतिक साहब ने, है ना? मन बहलाया आपने गुनगुना के समीर जी, थैंक यू फॉर दैट। एक जब भी हो जाए साथ में गाएंगे। एंड एवरीबडी फॉर रियल दिस टाइम, फॉर रियल दिस टाइम, एवरीबडी जॉइन इन। 1 2 3। आहा, क्या दिन थे वो, सिंपलर टाइम्स। थैंक यू समीर जी, क्या बात है। सिर्फ समीर जी और मैंने गाया, आपने तो गाया ही नहीं, ये चीटिंग है। गाया? आप तो पैदा भी नहीं हुए थे उस टाइम पे।
So this was the tune he was listening to before he came on stage.
आपको पता है स्पॉटिफाई प्लेलिस्ट ढूंढा मैंने, 90s एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स, क्या क्या है उसमें? छाया गीत, चित्रहार, निरमा डिटर्जेंट टिकियां इसके झाग में जादू कर दिया। पानी में रह के भी ये कम गले. मेरे को क्यों याद है ये सब? मैं sometimes I shock myself. Why I know all of these little cultural tidbits.
We just listened to all of this
ढेरों
before
कपड़े
this. That's
धोए
fine.
और ज्यादा चले. निरमा डिटर्जेंट किया. अब आप समझी ये टिकिया मैंने क्यों ली? ओहो, यशराज टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट. कोई ब्रांड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो नहीं है मेरी माँ? तो ये बात बात पे आ जाती है. चुप चुप चुप. जी मैडम पूछिए ना.
Yes.
पूछिए ना, कितना अच्छा दिन है.
So Ranveer, FICCI Frames is back in
FICCI
full form
Frames is
after
back,
2 years.
baby.
Our theatres have reopened, movies are releasing back to back, and like you said earlier, there's so much of positivity and hope out there. Now, when you look back at the 2 years, what are your thoughts, Ranveer? You know, what are your learnings that you're taking ahead, you know, professionally and personally?
Personally, ma'am, I would. I'll keep it short.
Yes.
But most certainly, I have seen a personal evolution. The pandemic has changed me and deeply affected me personally, as it has to everybody, the whole
Right.
world.
Absolutely.
Not our city, state, country, just the entire planet, you know, was
Right.
affected.
Yes.
And no exception. A lot of time for introspection, and coming out of it feels like the start of a new chapter, and what I'm committed to making into a glorious chapter.
Right.
With all the learnings. I think when it comes to the Indian entertainment sphere, my observation is that we've been rapidly accelerated to where Western entertainment spheres are now.
Right.
You know, the gulf between big screen entertainment and at-home entertainment has become very distinct.
Right, absolutely.
And that's there to see in the past year, the films that have released.
Yeah.
There is now a very clear distinction between what is meant for the big screen.
Right.
Those films, now it's imperative to have big screen appeal,
Yes.
visual spectacle,
Spectacles.
scale, something you can't really experience at
Right.
home, or then a community watch, you know, something that you have a better experience sitting with a large bunch
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
and laughing and crying. That community viewing experience is very, very important for any offering. It's not the same when you're sitting alone and watching at home on the couch.
Yes.
So we've been rapidly accelerated. I
Yeah.
think it's a completely new landscape
Right.
with the rise of new verticals. And now I feel like it's like I mentioned in the earlier speech as well, it's all one big giant entertainment landscape, you know. Our Indian audiences are watching shows that have been created in other countries, and the reverse is happening as well.
Exchange is the same, yeah.
So many of my university friends message me out of the blue, say, hey, I thought of you because I was watching this Indian show called Made in Heaven. I was like, arey wah yaar,
Yeah.
in middle America, in today's day and age, आपको मेरी याद आ गई क्योंकि आपने एक इंडियन शो देखा और आपको
True.
पसंद आ गई. So
Yeah.
I think it's a very exciting time in that sense. We now have so many avenues to export our culture, our talent, our skills, our stories. And at the same time, the onus is on us creators, because now we know that the average Indian consumer has access to just about any piece of entertainment
Absolutely,
from
yeah.
anywhere in
Yeah.
the world on the click of a button. So then you have to really
Push the boundaries, yeah.
there's extra onus to very deliberately look at the content that you're creating. It's very important to keep our audiences entertained. If we're going to draw them back to the theaters,
Absolutely, yeah.
then we need to justify the time, effort, and energy and money that it takes to come to the theaters. So personally, I'm committed to big screen cinema, and very excited about my upcoming releases as well. But I feel like what Sir said, the 12,000 cinema halls shrinking to 8,000,
Yeah.
that's concerning.
Right.
And I hope that the people who are like me, who are committed to the cause of big screen entertainment,
Right.
I hope that we are able to adapt so that we can
Yeah.
deliver content that brings people back to the theaters. That's important because we know how easy it is now. You have so many entertainment options at home and on your phone, like sir was saying, with data as accessible to our masses as it is now, more and more people are going to consume entertainment on the smaller screens. So the people who, you know, who are responsible for delivering big screen entertainment, the onus is very much on us creatively and technically.
You've always been a believer of these spectacle movies, larger than life cinema, and you've always said that you grew up on such cinema, right? So it's exciting for you to see that such movies are like really working out there. That's what's drawing the audiences, like you just said, right?
You know, after the pandemic, when I went back into the cinema halls, I was like, man, I've missed this. That experience is very special. To sit in this dark theater with so many people and, you know, have this joint cathartic experience. I feel like cinema going is like a microcosm of life itself. You know, according to me, what is life? It's a shared experience.
Absolutely.
What is my joy if I don't share it with you? So when you sit together in a cinema hall and you laugh together, you clap together, you know, you cry together, you feel that emotion together, that's a very special experience. So like I said, it's the onus is now on us creators. When people have taken the time, taken the effort and given the money to come to the cinema hall, then you have to give them bang for their buck. Please justify the time, effort and money it took for them to come there, believing that you will entertain them for 2.5 hours. Life is difficult, you know. हमारा काम क्या है? As entertainers, सबका बोझ हल्का करना, to provide some kind of escape, entertainment, deliver some kind of pertinent social message as well. So the onus, yes, is very much on the creators now.
Right. So which is the first film that you saw post the pandemic in the theater?
I don't remember. I think the most memorable watch for me has been Top Gun.
Okay.
I wasn't in the country at the time of release, but I'm such a big fan of cinema that I made it a point to go to the cinema hall, and it was many weeks after the release, so I went to an IMAX screen and I took that center seat, and that big screen experience, it's like a classic movie, you know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the Brahmastra experience. Round of applause for my friends who have created Brahmastra, the Astraverse. I think a fantastic big screen offering and something unlike anything we've seen in Hindi cinema, and I truly appreciate the efforts of my friends in putting that out there. Thank you. Thank you. मजा आपने देखी सर? हॉल में देखी सर? हॉल में देखी? फर्स्ट डे फर्स्ट शो? क्या बात है सर? थैंक यू यार, मजा आया सर, ताली बजाई, हंसे, रोए, बस और क्या चाहिए यार.
Exactly. In fact, you said, Ranveer, that you're in a phase where you want to make movies that bring people together, and some of your upcoming films are that, like Circus and Rocky Rani Ki Prem Kahani. They have a certain happiness and lightness about them. Do you think that's the need of the hour? Would you say that's the need of the hour?
This is a very personal thing, ma'am. I feel like being an artist, my channels for empathy are open for the most part. And therefore, the time that we've been through as a people, as a collective, that kind of difficulty, pain and suffering, I felt very deeply. And went through a lot myself personally. It was difficult to witness all of that. So personally, for me as an entertainer, I want to contribute towards offerings that will make people laugh, that will make people smile. I feel like times have been tough. Aao yaar, thoda haste hain. And therefore on Christmas, my next offering is actually Circus, which is the best thing. You know, when you go to watch a Rohit Shetty comedy, you know what you're going for.
Absolutely, yes.
आओ यार, थोड़ा हंस के आते हैं, थोड़ा हल्का होके आते हैं, मजे करके आते हैं. And that's the kind of cinema that I have consciously chosen to be a part of. I think in the recent past, we have seen that you have to give something to the audience that justifies their time, effort and money in coming there. I personally have bought so many, I've taken large groups of people over the weekend to watch films, my friends and family. I know how expensive it is. And I know as a cinema going audience myself, that एक तो आप plan बनाओ हफ्ते भर पहले. People's lives are so fast and so busy to make the plan to go with everybody. Then you get into the car, you drive through, you know, traffic. You get to the, let's say if you're going to a multiplex, you go to a mall. आप basement पे पहले parking ढूंढो. Parking ढूंढने के बाद you go up 3 flights of escalators. You get your ticket. You pay so much money for the snacks. Then you go and take your seat. There's 20 minutes of commercial messaging. And by the time the movie starts, it's taken a lot of effort and a considerable amount of money, a fraction of your income for that month or to actually be there. And I take that very seriously. I take that as a responsibility. I need to do whatever I can to justify that time, effort and money of the paying audience who have come to the theaters to watch me, believing that I will deliver entertainment to them. Then I will do everything I can to make sure that that is the case.
Wow, very well said. Big applause in that. So Ranveer, last year you completed a decade in Bollywood. Again, a very big applause for that, you know. And, you know, we've seen your growth as an actor. You become this actor par excellence and you have this massive fan following and so many people who love you. And still you always say that you feel this sense of disbelief about, you know, who you are and in the amount you've achieved in life. And you say it's surreal, when actually it is so real. Your success is so real. Why do you feel that way?
Ma'am, it's like the position that I find myself in, I couldn't even have dreamed it up. It's beyond my wildest imagination. When I started 12 years back, when I was in my struggle period for 3.5 years, I would have thought that, you know, I just want to act, you know, and I'll do my best and I hope that good things happen. But the kind of stuff that's happening, you know, the opportunities that I've been blessed with, the acclaim, the love of the people, it's overwhelming. So it's almost every day that I wake up with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I can hardly believe that I'm in this position. I have this position in the current Indian entertainment sphere where I'm collaborating with the finest filmmakers, where I am given the opportunity to contribute towards the biggest ticket offerings. You know, it's like, I can't, till
can't
today,
believe it's happened to you.
Till today, I can't believe it. Sometimes it's like I feel like मैं कोई सपना देख रहा हूँ क्या कि ये actually हो रहा है क्या मेरे साथ? So 12 years down, I think one would think is a long enough time for it to sink in, but it still hasn't. And I'm just as hungry as when I first started. I've completed a decade, but my hunger, my appetite to create just is insatiable. I feel like I've been blessed with this once in a lifetime opportunity. You know, like my character says in Gully Boy, ऊपर वाले ने मेरे को ये तोहफा दिया है. You know, I have I'm aware now with a little bit of maturity that, okay, I have been blessed with a certain gift. And what greater thing than for me to do what I love to do for a living. So I'm very aware that this is a very rare blessing for anybody to have. So I put all my energy and all my passion into making good on that blessing from the Almighty.
Is that the reason why, Ranveer, you know, you're a certain way with your fans? The way you know, give so much of yourself to them, you know, whether you're hugging them, throwing kisses in the air, interacting with them, clicking selfies. You know, there's a certain vibe and energy you give out to them. Is that because you're so overwhelmed the fact that they've given you so much of love to start with?
Ma'am, I just think it's a very simple philosophy. I think I read it, funnily, on Instagram, who is our partner today. I read it on Instagram. There are a lot of these, anybody here from Instagram, from Meta? No? Okay, no problem. But let me tell you, Instagram is a great source for a lot of knowledge. You know, sometimes you don't expect it, but you come upon some very interesting points. And I read this on Instagram, and that philosophy really resonated. It's like somebody articulated my life philosophy. When you meet people, just leave them happier than when you met them. You know, it's just as simple as that. That's the best thing you can do with yourself. You know, I feel like it's my calling to entertain people, and to put a smile on somebody's face is just about the best thing I can do with you know, my faculties. And that's really, I get great fulfillment from putting a smile on somebody's face. So I try and you know, spread that positivity, and I feel like it's a cyclical
Infectious, it's
effect,
infectious, yeah.
because I also believe that you only get what you give. So if you give good energy, positivity, and good vibes, it all multiplies and comes back to you. So yeah, I find great joy in and it's another thing I'm very grateful for, and another thing that never gets old. You know, so when people look at you and they're like, ah, you know, you could just put a smile on
joy,
somebody. It's a
yeah.
great thing. So that's my, I feel like that's my purpose, that's my calling, and I'll do it till my dying breath.
Remember once in an interview you told me that I want to be a complete entertainer, and that you truly are, Ranveer, on screen and off screen. I'm sure all of you would agree here. Absolutely. So there is this Ranveer that we see, you know, at events and everywhere. You're wearing these colorful clothes, vibrant, high on energy, 1,000 watts at all times. And then there is a Ranveer we see on screen, totally molded into the characters you play. Like, we almost don't know who you are. You know, of course, you know the character you're playing. How do you do that? And secondly, I want to ask you that, do you ever leave the Ranveer Singh behind when you go on set? Or is there a bit of Ranveer in every role that you play?
Ma'am, I strongly believe that when it comes to someone's personality, you can't really put anybody in a box, really. You can't say this person is X and Y. There's not, people aren't finite, you know, human beings are just too complex. So there are various facets to my personality. When I'm in public, my projection is a certain way, you know. Colorful,
That is still
vibrant,
you. That is
fun,
also a part of
very
you.
authentically
Yes.
me,
Yes.
but that is for in that situation and in that
That moment.
context. You know, today when my friend, the lady, the RJ, you know, when she establishes that, okay, Ranveer's come, and now we're gonna have some fun. You know, I own that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love having that reputation. Yes, I'm here, and I'm here to entertain you, and I'm here to, let's have some fun, let's have some cheer and mirth and joy, and lightness of being.
Yes.
But at the same time, there are various different facets to my personality. In my personal life, I'm very different. In my professional capacity, I'm very different. In the roles that I inhabit is perhaps where one gets an opportunity to perhaps see another side of me. And I do pour myself, an authentic side of myself into my characters.
Yeah.
And I hope to get the opportunity to explore more and more of myself.
Yeah.
Today, if you ask me, how does one define you? I don't have the answer to that. I don't know how I'd be able to define myself. And at the same time, I'll say, in a larger context, I don't know if anybody can really be defined. You know.
Yeah.
So I hope that when I play different and more characters, it's a constant exploration of who I am. That playing different characters will reveal myself to me. And I hope that I get substantial enough characters to be able to explore myself.
Right. Yes. You're talking about exploring different characters, Ranveer. You know, you always said that your stardom and this huge stardom that you enjoy is a byproduct. And what you really focus on is the core of creating these memorable characters, unforgettable roles, and pushing the boundaries. And with you, what's fascinating is that you're one actor, one rare actor who really pushes the boundaries, because, you know, every time you see you on screen, it's like, wow, he can do this and he can do that. You know, so does that really excite you, the fact that you have the power and the ability to stun us every time with the roles that you play and the choices you make?
Thank you for that, ma'am. I will say it is a function of the opportunities that are coming to you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hope I continue to get roles in which I can explore various facets of my repertoire. I think I need to be invested and excited. Every pore of mine needs to be energized and enthused by the opportunity. I am currently considering my next script, and I want something to drive me wild, you know. That's when I can pour myself to
All
that
in.
degree. I'm so hungry right now. Oftentimes I think that I hope I can keep exploring, and I hope that there is enough in my life experience in my to be able to bring to my craft. Sometimes I think, man, when is this? And I've had this conversation with some of my fellow actors as well. We're like, man, sometimes are you afraid that this bag of tricks is going to run out? Like, you know?
Do you ever feel that way?
I don't know. I guess I'll find out as I go. Fortunately, up until my very last release, you know, playing Kapil Dev, playing Jayesh, they're all vastly distinctive characters that I've got to explore and put out there. And I hope to continue in the same vein. My next offering is quite disruptive for my own filmography. It's my first, like, really out and out comedy, the kind of movie that I love. Do we have any Golmaal fans in the house? Wow! Okay. Go Golmaal. You see, Mr. Rohit Shetty and his brand of cinema has a cult following. Absolutely. I am very proud to be a part of it. We have an offering coming this Christmas with all the comedy all-stars. Again, ma'am, a very, and I'll tie this point back to what we were discussing. The comedy all-stars are all a part of the ensemble circus. Wow. So I had a moment when I was on set with Mr. Johnny Lever. Wow. I couldn't believe that I was in the same movie. I was performing a comedy scene with Johnny Lever. He's a titan of Hindi cinema. One of the greatest of all time. I could hardly believe that I was on set with him. I was, and I have not shared this ever before, that morning, but I will share it with you. I was, and to testament to my point of how overwhelming it gets for me. I remember Johnny Sir's scene was going to be in the afternoon. I started in the morning, and I was walking from my van to the set, and I was passing by, and I saw his name on the vanity van, and that's when it struck me. I was like, man, I'm acting with Johnny Lever today. You know, I was in tears that morning. I couldn't believe it. It was a very personal moment for me, because I remember my first live experience of a live show. One of my first ones was watching Johnny Lever stand up in Bhaidas Hall. My father was a huge fan, and he took me, one of my first live performances ever, and I'm seeing this one diminutive man regaling a packed house for 2.5 hours, sweating, you know, his trademark rumal that he used to get out and wipe his sweat. One of the greatest entertainers of all time. And I had somebody I've grown up with, I had the opportunity to act with him. In Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani, the same thing happened when I was acting with Dharminder, with Shabana Azmi ji, with Jaya Bachchan. I couldn't believe it. And I'll tell you the Dharmendra moment as well. So the first day that Dharamji and I were going to perform a scene together, I had told all the ADs, make sure I'm on set before Dharamji. I'd like to welcome him on his first day. But something happened and Dharamji was on set before me. And I was like, oh, what happened? He was like, he went to set. I was like, okay, then I rushed and I went to set. And now that we were pressed for time, I was quickly understanding from Karan what the requirement of the scene was, processing everything, and it was a face-to-face chat with Dharamji. And okay, so I'm just before the take, I'm going through my checklist. Okay, ye bolna hai, fir ye. And then they called roll camera, and I looked up to start the scene, and in that moment, it hit me, because I saw his face this close. I was like, bro, look at what's happening with you. This is an out-of-body moment for me. This is absolutely surreal. I'm giving a shot with Dharmendra, the legend of Hindi cinema. I can hardly believe it. And that's why every now and then and ever so often, there will be a situation, an experience or an instance which is just, it's like straight out of a fantasy for me.
Wow. That's superb, man. That's such a lovely anecdote. So Ranveer, next year we clock in 10 years of Ram Leela. That's the first film where we saw Deepikani together, and wow, what a jodi you all were. And what a couple you are today, on screen, off screen, fabulous. I want to understand creatively, how do you all contribute to each other's lives, careers, roles, choices, cinema choices? How do you all creatively feed off each other?
I must say, I learn a lot from her. She is a consummate professional. She has exemplary habits, and there is a lot to learn. And every day I learn from her. I think it's been a while since we've acted together,
Yeah.
and from that time, I think Bajirao Mastani was when we actually did scenes together, because Padmavat, our last release together, we didn't actually have any scenes. So the last time I really performed something in depth with Deepika was back in 2014-15,
Yeah, yeah.
and she and I have both had a personal evolution
Absolutely.
since then in our individual capacity as people and as actors. So I think it will be very interesting to explore the co-actor dynamic with her. I'm very excited. I hope we get a great opportunity. And I've seen the evolution in her. I can step out and objectively observe actor to actor, the kind of evolutions she's had.
Right.
You know, I think her performance in Gehraiyan was stunning. You know,
Absolutely
and
stunning.
I know for a person who has had a battle with mental health and anxiety, has dealt with anxiety, to perform a part like that is such a great challenge,
Yeah.
and it takes so much out of you. I have nothing but the utmost amount of respect for that kind of honesty, authenticity, and finesse in craft. I admire her hugely as an actor. And I really, really hope that we get an opportunity to act together on screen again. Would you like to see that?
Yes, we
I'd
hope so too.
definitely like to
Absolutely,
do it.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely. Yeah. Today we're seeing a lot of talent.
And a lot more I learned from her. That's in a professional capacity, ma'am. But at a personal level, you
personal,
know, how to create a work-life balance, how to make sustainable life choices that are aligned with authenticity. Our touchwood, it's been, we met and started dating in 2012. So 2022 is 10 years of me and Deepika.
Wow, that's superb.
And touchwood, it just, she, as I've always said, is one of the greatest blessings of my life and one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I'm so grateful for her in my life.
We're waiting to watch you all together again. Absolutely.
Yeah, there was a brief hint of it in '83. I think people enjoyed
Yeah.
her cameo and our chemistry there. There's a small surprise round the corner. Can't
really?
reveal much about it, but you will see us together in a entertaining, colorful, vibrant context very soon. More on that later. But yes, let me take this platform to appeal to the creatives in our films to please consider this jodi. I think it'll be quite exciting to see
Absolutely.
these two talents come together. Yeah, I would love to do a
Powerhouse
movie with
talents.
her.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We're seeing so much of talent in our country today, Ranveer, emerging from everywhere, whether they're writers, directors, musicians, actors. Are you excited about seeing the way content is evolving in our country? Through various digital platforms, so many avenues.
I think it's the best time to be working in Indian entertainment. I started 12 years ago, and I was talking to some aspiring young actors. I was like, guys, this time that we're living in is very different from when I started out. Things were very insulated, and your access wasn't as easy. Your avenues and opportunities weren't as voluminous. Today you have so many channels, so many OTT platforms, so many films. There is so much there are so many employment opportunities out there, whether it's writers, actors, technicians. It is such an exciting time because of the number of things that are being created.
Right.
Back then, only that many films, that many channels, that many OTT wasn't even
Limited,
there at that time. At that time, we had to take, how do you find work? We used to go with physical copies of our portfolios with contacts, mobile numbers found from here, there, go from office to office and sit outside the office, meet producers, directors, casting directors, trying to get your foot in the door in that way and try and get work like that. Today, you have curated Instagram profiles, which are basically your calling card. The casting director can go and check you out. It's just access is just that simple. So when they come to me today, and they come to seek advice, um, that you managed to get your foot in the door. I was like, man, my story is very different because that time was very different. Today, your path and your journey towards getting your opportunity and getting your foot in the door is going to be very different because the times are different. But at the same time, I would encourage you to do it. Take the plunge because it's a great time to be in Indian entertainment.
I want to ask you this, Ranveer, a decade in the industry, some fabulous roles to boast of, a huge star. What is it that keeps your fire burning? In your case, fire blazing, because they're generally all guns blazing.
Ma'am, I would say this, just being given this opportunity to be an actor, I get to do what I love to do for a living. I am living the dream. All my life, I just wanted to be in Hindi films. And here I am. And that's one of the biggest things that happened in my life. You know, a lot of times I get asked, how are you so happy all the time? I'd be like, man, there's one great big thing happened in my life is that I became an actor, you know, and I'm filled with gratitude for that. And gratitude is my superpower, you know. So I'm very aware of my blessings. I'm very grateful for them. And I feel like ये मिला है मौका तो मार देना चाहिए चौका, है ना? चांस मिला है तो डांस करना चाहिए. I'm here, I'm in Hindi films, I'm a leading man in Hindi films. It's incredible. I have this platform, this opportunity to really make a mark and live my dream. And that kind of energy, that kind of passion, it comes very, very naturally.
Lastly, I want to ask you, Ranveer, we recently learned you have another super talent, which is writing dialogues.
Yeah.
So you've contributed creatively to the dialogues of Rocky and Rani, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, if you were to describe Ranveer Singh in one dialogue, through one dialogue, what would that be?
Ma'am, you're putting me on the spot, yaar.
Come on, I'm sure you can coin a dialogue really quick.
आप बताइए. धमाका. क्या बात है? I love it. यही मैडम.
That's your dialogue.
Ranveer Singh. ... Dhamaka.
Super.
Madam, dhamaka means explosion. A big explosion. और क्या क्या है यार? और तारीफ करो मेरी. बहुत प्यारा. Very lovable. क्या बात है सर? मेरे साइलेंट शॉट्स की ना सिर्फ आप कदर करते हो सर. देखो डायलॉग्स बुलवा रहे हैं. साइलेंट एक्टिंग में भी मैं आपका भाई आगे. ऐसी बात नहीं है. लुटेरा कभी की थी सर 12 में. मैं तो एवं लुट गया. ये आपके लिए डायलॉग है, मेरे लिए. और क्या क्या है गाइस? ये आप मेरे गानों के टाइटल्स नहीं बोलेंगे ना आप. सवाल कुछ और है. आज आप बताएंगे एक डायलॉग जो मेरे लिए फिट बैठता है. बताइए. आजा.
Good one.
आजा. बोल दे सबको. बाज की नजर. रुक जा. बाज की नजर सेकंड.
चीते की चाल, बाज की नजर और रणवीर सिंह सर की एक्टिंग पे कभी संदेह नहीं करते. कभी भी फाड़ सकती है.
अरे वाह. क्या डायलॉग है.
Dialogue.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
He killed it.
Thanks यार. Thanks मेरे यार. Made my day. Thank you so much.
So we have your dialogue there. It was great talking to you, Ranveer. We had
Thank you,
a fabulous
ma'am.
session. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Ranveer, for your energy that literally set the Fireside chat ablaze. And thank you, Madhureeta, for that engaging conversation as well. It was lovely having you.